here. 844-500-4242. Joining us now on the line is Kevin Frisbie, the financial wizard of the Howie Carr Show. Kevin, what's going on?
Hey, Howie, how you doing today? So what's going on in the markets today? We're up for the fourth straight day. And thankfully, because we had a 3.3% decline last week in the market, so we've gotten, I think, most of that back at this point. The volatility in the market created by just a lot of unknowns is something that just people need to be paying attention to. Yeah, it's nice we're up 4 days here, but look what happened last week. It wasn't a nice week.
I'm concerned about inflation, Kevin. I'm starting to read these headlines, and I lived through the 70s, and it was not a pleasant time. People have forgotten how bad it was.
Let me tell you something right now. You look at what's going on in the real estate market. We've got still across the country, and spots that it's not like this, but the prices of houses and the bidding wars on apartment buildings is just craziness. You go to the store and see the prices of things. When you talk about a $15 minimum wage, Howie, what happens? Everything goes up. Every American's going to pay that price. That's just the way it is. That's just economics. Right. You get oil prices going up, right? Oil prices have gone up 45 cents a gallon since election day. Well, that's going to increase the inflation cycle as well. The inflation cycle is primarily being created by the printing of the money, the stimulus money.
That's I know. And they seem to have just no concern. They seem to have no concern whatsoever. They just keep printing the money. And you talk about raising the minimum wage. Long Beach City Council, it's not even done nationally. This is just in one city in California. They raised it $4 an hour. Kroger's instantly shut down 2 supermarkets, threw a few hundred people out of work. I mean, this is what's going to happen across the board.
And that's a big grocery chain. I mean, that's a big player out west, particularly. So yeah, you take that. All of a sudden, how many jobs are going to lose across the country because of a rising inflation? You know who gets hurt with rising inflation the most is some of these poor seniors on fixed income. Some of these people that are not making anything with their money parked in the banks, and they're relying on Social Security and maybe have a pension. They're not keeping up with inflation. I can promise you that.
Right. Social Security goes up usually less than 2% a year. That's not enough to keep up with the inflation.
1.3%.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Kevin, what have you got for the listeners this week if they want to recalibrate their portfolios?
Yeah, I've got a timely piece here that I can send by email to people or in the mail. It's strategies for volatile markets. And again, you look at what we've had for the last couple of weeks, I suspect that will continue through the rest of the year at least. So you want to take advantage. I say take advantage. With volatile markets comes opportunity, right? So you want to protect yourself and take advantage of the trends up and down with what we're seeing. Okay,
so how do they get that, Kevin?
Yeah, they can call us up. It's 1-800-989-9100 is our 800 number. No obligation to do anything with us. We'll gladly send this out. If you do want to sit and talk with somebody or maybe have a remote conversation with one of our advisors that we have all across New England, you can certainly set up a time to have a conversation about how to protect yourself and how to position in a volatile market. But they can reach us at 1-800-989-9100. They can find us online at frisbeebenefits.com anytime. And as I said, it's a perfect timing for this strategies for volatile market.
Speaking of volatile markets, is there any aftermath of the GameStop controversy from last week?
Yeah, as I said last week, remember we talked about that. So there's big aftermath now. Today, GameStop is down another 40%, I think. So some of these poor people that got sucked into that and maybe bought that
like Taylor
$400 a share, now all of a sudden they're down 75%.
I only bought one. I got out at 100. I lost $160, but I'm up on other investments, so I'm not worried about it.
That's what they always say, isn't it, Kevin? They always talk about the wins, but never talk about the L's.
Yeah, how about the guy that lost $14 million in one day because he had got on in the wrong price, obviously, and took the write down. So
David Portnoy, he lost $700,000.
He could lose it though. He could afford it. He did it as a gesture.
That, exactly.
Right. Yeah. Right. But yeah.
Yeah. So are they plotting any? Are they talking about it on Reddit going into another stock? I got a radio stock I want to get into and ruin.
Yeah, right. One thing they targeted silver at the beginning of this week, and they rode that for about a day and a half, and then got out of it. So, I think there's going to be a trend. This is going to be something that's going to move some stock price, and people are going to make some money and lose some money.
The Hunts tried, but they didn't do too well with it. What's your number again, Kevin?
1-800-989-9100, Howie.
The Kathy
I'm Howie
Ireland
Carr.
Jones Ball was one of the